Hello, everyone. Y'all probably like, where is she? Hey, y'all. How are y'all doing? I hope you are well. I am Dr. Tammy, your success strategist and literacy educator. I help you strategize how to move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next. Hello, and welcome to another book discussion, our C4C Global Cypher, where we are discussing our book. And we're reading a book, and this read is a little different. Normally, we read a book a month. And if you're not a part of the C4C Global community, I invite you to join us. There's the link at the bottom of the screen, so you can join us there. And if you haven't ever been here, one, say hello to me in the comments. Say hello, tell us where you're joining us from. Number two, share it. Share it with someone who enjoys reading and books and encouragement or needs some inspiration. We got you covered right here. So you can tag them in the comments, send them the link, wherever platform you're on, you can share that. Do that for us. And number three, we're going to discuss a book this time. Normally, we discuss it from cover to cover in 1 month, and we go through whatever the self-development or the memoir, whatever it is. This time we're reading one that's more of a daily reader. And so we're just reading short snippets. So this is something that all of us can participate in at some level. And we are reading Reap More. Now, this should look familiar. So this is actually my book. And interesting enough, the things that I have out there, I've always picked someone else's. And we, as a community, typically choose other authors' books. This time I thought 2021, I wrote this for you. I thought I'd share it with you and give you some encouragement and inspiration every day through quotes and little snippets of what my thinking, my mindset at the time of those quotes each day. And so what we decided to do, this is Reap More, 76 seeds for this season. And so since there's 76 seeds, which are also quotes, but you'll hear us refer to them as seeds because we're planting seeds that we can sow and bring to harvest. So here's the deal. We decided we're going to read one per day. Starting out the year, great way to start the year. We have, listen, have you been around for the last week, 15 days? 2021 has just begun, and y'all, it's already showing up great, to say the least, and very interesting. So what I decided to do was for us to read this to get us to keep us focused and keep us mindset. My word for this year is increase. And that is to increase my impact on others, increase what I'm doing to serve others. And in order to do that, I thought, I must focus on what it is I've created that has really changed lives and set up to change lives. So therefore, I thought, why not? Let's read more. And then and I thought about that, but I was thinking, nah, let's not do that. Let's just read someone else's as usual. Keep doing what we're doing. But then someone recommended, I always ask for suggestions what to read. And in our global reading community, somebody suggested it. And I thought, yeah, that was kind of confirmation. So I was like, let's do it. So that's what we're doing. And if you want to grab the book, you can. This book is available on Amazon. There is an ebook version, there's the paperback, but there's also the ebook version. And so you can get either one. And you can go to my website. The first edition is available on my website, and it's at a discounted price. So if you want that book, that version, you can, and you're in the US, you can go to my website, drtammyfrancis.com, and get the book. And let me put that information up so you'll know where to get the book. Let's get that out of the way first. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, sit up so you can see me over that, right? So let's just dive in. So I've invited the community to join me, and I had someone, a dear friend, take me up on it. And so she's joining me today for today's discussion. And so what we'll do is we're going to just dive right in, but I'm going to bring her in so she can introduce herself, and then we're just going to get to it. And we're going to go over the first 15 seeds. It's January 15th. So the 15th day of the year. So let's just do 1 through 15. So we're just going to talk about some of the things that resonated with us in those 15 quotes or seeds, and then we'll go from there. And we may even do a little reading together. I may do a little live reading of a few of them just to share with you what to expect. So if you get the book, you know. All right. So let me bring my friend in first. Let's do that. Hey, Letty.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? So this is Letty, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and then share a little bit about her. And even if you wanted to follow her, connect with her, she's in the community. Like I said, there's the link below. And then we're just going to dive in. So Letty, just introduce yourself to the audience, whatever you like to share.
Thanks. First of all, thank you, Dr. Tammy. I'm so
You're
grateful and happy
welcome.
to be here. And I'm happy to share the evening with everybody in the group. My name is Lithie Berlanga. I have been in higher education for about 26, 27 years. Um, Mostly it's support type areas. I've done academic advising. I've worked support programs. I've taught a few classes, done a lot of training. That's mostly my area. I've and so within that time, I've had the opportunity to work with Tammy. It, at a university and also on a few boards. And my
Yes, she's
passion is
had to put up with me.
it's been great. My passion is definitely learning. I love to learn and to get to know people and connect.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm over here. So I am sharing the broadcast out while she was talking. So I hope you've done the same thing. So if you're joining us, please share it out. And for those of you coming on the replay, thank you for being here on the replay. Still engage with us, still interact with us. We'll be coming back after the broadcast and definitely checking things out here. So make sure that you connect with us and make sure you comment. Tell us where you're joining us from. All right, so let's just hop in. So, it's the beginning of the year, and I really think that we should focus this year a little different. I think one thing that last year has taught me is that we should be intentional. We should really think about how we're executing what we're doing and putting action behind it. And I've with so much going on, so much illness and loss and those things happening in our life, what I found is that people were waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for the pandemic to be over. They're waiting for the world to get back to normal, quote unquote normal, waiting, waiting, waiting. And what I found is we don't, you may not have that time to wait to do those things that you love, those things that make impact on others, those things that where you can really focus on what it is you want to do. So I want to read seed number 12 to get this started, to just set the tone for 2021. And one of the purposes of us doing this book, seed number 12, is do what is in your soul. What's in your soul? Do you know? What do you truly desire? Do that and pursue that. And I think that is what 2021 is about for me, is doing what's in my soul. What is it deep down inside that brings you joy, that you're passionate about, and that you really make impact on the world? Part of my philosophy and my brand is self-awareness and being self-aware. And my definition is slightly different because most people's self-awareness is, what do they like to do? What is it? Who are they? What is all that? But self-awareness is truly how you impact others. And not only knowing about yourself, but how that impacts others. And I think that we should evaluate that and check that out. And part of that is doing what you love. doing what's in your soul and finding your purpose and getting a clear vision for your life. So I think the number 12 really sets it up and is a great quote to place somewhere on your mirror or in your car or something. Be sure to give me credit because it's in my book. But to really to put that, do what is in your soul, and you know, do that, pursue that. So that was one that I think resonated with me this time around, and I'm going to encourage you to do that. So I'm going to see what Letty thought, that what is one or something in those first 15 quotes that resonated with you, if anything.
Okay. Well, thank you. Definitely. So here's my book, and I've written
Yeah,
all over it.
I love it. Y'all, I really love when people have tabs and mark it up. Like this book, let me just pause. See, I've asked her a question, so now I'm going to do a commercial break already. This book is really designed for you to interact with it, for you to write in it, for you to engage with it, for you to even, send me little notes on things you recommend, whatever. I'll take it all. I love it all. I just like for you to interact with it. And so I love that. I want her to say that again because I love those tabs. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. I'm done. I'm okay. See, I'm a professor of reading. So I love when people are engaging with the text, interacting with the text. That's a big part of my platform. And you'll know a little bit about that later in the year when the anthology comes out, but when the next book comes out. But oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So, Letty, what resonated with you?
So first of all, let me just say, so far what I've read of the book, it flows so well. Everything connects with everything else. I just feel like there's such a theme in the book that I go from one thing to the other, and it just feels like it all comes together for me as
Can
I'm
I tell
going
you a
through.
little bit about that, Letty, though?
Sure.
I didn't write it that way. Like these are quotes that I actually just, I decided I'm going to do this Motivation Mondays on Instagram. I was trying to build my Instagram. Y'all follow me on Instagram, Dr. Tammy Francis. Dr. Tammy Francis on Instagram and everywhere because I'm trying to build that channel still. But anyway, shameless plug. But I was trying to build my Instagram and I started doing these Motivation Mondays. So I saw, and I was looking, I saw everybody doing a copy paste, using other people's quotes, doing, sharing other people's stuff. And I said, I'm going to create my own. Like I say witty things or what I call tweetables. And I said, I'm going to do that. And so I just started doing that every Monday. And so the way I started doing them wasn't necessarily because I was intending for them to flow in a book, right? To make sense in a book. And so I just decided, I have all these quotes. I probably should publish them for copyright purposes and get them, mine, make them mine, make them really, really mine before people start doing that to me, sharing my quotes. And so I did that. And I just did them in the order I posted them on. Like I didn't change the order. I didn't rearrange them. I didn't do any of that. I just put it from what I just started from the first quote and just started, plugging them in and moving them from my Instagram off of Instagram because that's not my platform. So anything can happen to it into a Word document in the order that they were on Instagram, starting with the first one. So I can kind of so I needed to keep track because I'll forget where I left off. So that I had to create a system. And that's what I did. And so I will agree with you that I've even surprised myself when I go through and I said, wow. So so I think this book was meant to be written, if I were to say so myself, just because I know how I did it. And there was no, like, some people know that they're going to turn it into a book. Like when they do that stuff, I didn't. I just knew that I wanted to build my Instagram followers. So let's just do that. So it's interesting you said that. So thank you for confirming that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Oh, you are welcome. That is amazing because it really just flows so well and it connects so well. That's so cool. Okay. All right. So I do have several, and I have two in particular
I got my
that
book.
I.
I'm ready.
So number four, and that one is your vision and gifts are designed and designated for you. Embrace them.
Ooh, I love that.
So that's a great one. So all my life, I've known that I've been really good at listening,
Hmm.
at to others, and partially I think that's come from English is my second language. I learned it when I was four, going on five, and
Right,
so a lot of it was I wasn't very comfortable. I wasn't sure if I was saying things correctly,
right.
and so a lot of the time I that was difficult for me, and that's why I did more listening than talking. But I definitely, I've always known that that was a gift of mine. And with that, I think compassion it came. It just was something that developed. So both of those things early on, I identified as gifts for myself. But many years later, I realized that leadership was a quality that I have, and that I had. It was just, I just didn't realize it. And not that it's exclusive to or it stands alone. Honestly, thinking about it now, the listening and the compassion is really part of the leadership. And so it's something that it's built on. So I really sometimes have a difficult time embracing the leadership part of it. I've had
Ooh.
a yeah,
Mhm.
it's hard. And I know I've had experience with it, but I'm so much more comfortable behind the scenes. I will work super hard and do whatever. I'm great behind the scenes, but it's a lot harder to be upfront. And a lot of leadership, you have to be upfront. So that's something that I in recent years have worked a lot harder to get out of my comfort zone, and realizing that that is something I have to offer, and to get out there and volunteer to do things, and try to do more of that.
And I will say that I was surprised when you volunteered to come live with me. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is so amazing. So thank you for being here. But this particular quote, I was, and I said I loved it because when you read it, it's like you telling me, which, I think that when we say things, we put them into the world. We got to remember that sometimes what you share with the world is something that you need back. And, this past couple of weeks, I've been really embarking on some new ventures that are really scary for me, and I'm really having to step out there. So what you're saying is so true. So when you read it, I was thinking, you can do this, girl. You can do this, girl. So I was internally, when I said I love that, that's what I was like. I need that. Like that's something that I needed. That reminder, because you're right. Sometimes we shy away from things because we don't want to embrace them, embrace and realize that you have a gift, it's yours. You have been designed and designated to use it. It is for you. Now, if you don't, it can be taken away from you, but it's for you. And if you use it, you may be surprised what happens. So I love that. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Um, so what was the other one? You said you had several.
Yes. So the other one is a little more complicated. Number six.
Ooh, okay.
Um, and that one reads, don't procrastinate on someone else's breakthrough. Live your dream. And so I'm going to
Ooh,
read a little bit of it
okay.
to kind of get the gist of it, or and I'll explain how I read it or how it came to me. When we don't pursue our dreams or use our gifts, we may be unconsciously withholding the very thing that others need to pursue theirs. It was given to you to serve others. If you ignore it, reject it, hide it, you will not use it, you will not you are not using it or serving others with it. Do the right thing.
Yes.
So I have a story on this one.
Uh-oh. I
So,
love stories. As you can tell, I'm just telling stories over and over again.
so not too long ago, an old friend of mine, I love Facebook because it's just connecting with people. And and our lives are so busy and stuff. It's so hard to make time to connect with other people. And so, an old high school friend of mine mentioned that she was having some health issues. And so, I've done a lot of research and stuff and had my own health journey and stuff. And so, I've learned a lot along the way. And so, I mentioned some information to her and suggested on certain things to talk to her doctor about, and it was really interesting. She was so grateful for it. And then
Right.
she said, I'm designating you as my health advocate.
Oh,
And I thought, wow, that at first I thought, oh my gosh, that really struck me and surprised me. And I thought, wow, I really I have so much that I've learned that it could help other people.
right.
So I was diagnosed with RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis, and I really don't talk about it much. And
Right.
so, and partly because it was hard to come to terms with it. I have, I feel like I've managed it really well, and I do a lot to keep myself as healthy as possible, which is really goes a long way to making me feel good of where I'm at. And so I was thinking, I should not talk about it. I should, I could be helping other people. And I really hadn't seen it in those terms until my friend just happened to say it in the sweetest possible way. Um, and I thought, wow, I really need to, I'm not sure how I can, or what mode I can actually do this in, but I really took it to heart.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So that was seed number 6 that we're talking about. Don't procrastinate on someone else's breakthrough. Live your dream. And so I guess, you say this, but I think this one's a good follow up to what I read with number 12, do what's in your soul. And then what we read with number 4 about your vision and gift is for you, has been designed and designated for you. And then this one is, basically use it. Come on, get busy. And so, I think that's really good for this time of year, just to remind folks, like, y'all just go for it. Just step out there and go for it, because you got to think that when you've been given something, it's not necessarily just for you. It's not for you to have all the benefits from it. It's because it's your opportunity to serve others and to free others. It's actually freeing when they get what they need, and when we get what we need. And sometimes, when you're holding something back, you're keeping that from someone else. So, and I think that goes back to what I said about self-awareness, and self-awareness being that impact we have on others. And so, don't procrastinate on someone else's breakthrough. Go for it. Just go. Just go. All right. Did you have any others? Or was
Um,
that it?
well, I have a little bit to everything, but let me one more. Let me see which
Okay.
one. Okay. And this one could work for a whole bunch of different things. Consider number 11.
Number 11. Okay.
Yes, number 11. Consider the possibilities. What can you do today to improve your tomorrow? What are your options? What can you do to increase the probability you will get what you desire, achieve your goals, and redeem your dreams? And
Mm,
so, to me, I've had a real issue with procrastinating on clutter clearing.
Right.
It's been like a year. I just haven't been doing any of that, and the longer I don't do it, the harder it gets.
Yes.
So this last week, I had signed up for an online class, and to kind of keep me on track, having to do with that.
Right.
And so it really helped, and I came to realize that I don't have to do it perfectly.
Right.
I don't have to do it all at one time,
Nope.
which is part of the reason why I it's so hard to take that first step.
Right.
And so what I realized is, even though I can't do everything at one time, if I have my plan and I stick to it. So my plan was do something each day
Right.
between 15 minutes to an hour. It doesn't have to be much, but something. And so for the last week, I've been doing a little bit of something each day. And like today, I just got back to work yesterday, and so once I'm back at work, everything changes, and
Of
there
course.
seems to be no time for anything. And
I
so, but
understand.
yes,
Higher education. Yes.
yes. So yesterday I was so tired, but I was able to get 15 minutes in of taking care of a little bit. And so that made me feel so good. It really did. It was a little bit, but I also had to realize I need to celebrate those moments also.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't know if y'all notice when she's reading this, I'm gonna let me put me on the camera so I can show you. But the way it's set up is that it has the quote, it has the commentary. Typically, the commentary is something that the reason I came up with, how I came up with it, and then get my directions correctly. And then there's space to write and reflect. That's why I say this book is meant for you to write in it, for you to reflect in it, for you to engage with it. So you can write right here. If you want to have a journal, a separate composition book or something, you can. But it has the quote and it has the the commentary or questions. This particular quote has just questions, reflective questions. And so it's meant to do just what it did for Lethe, and that is to prompt you to think about what it is you're doing, or consider the possibilities. That's what the quote is: consider the possibilities. And that could be whatever and wherever you are in your life. And so that's kind of how it's set up. I didn't show that at the beginning. I apologize, but that's how it's set up. And I really love that. I really love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. So I'm gonna share 13. 13, I think it's really good for the time, being in the middle of a pandemic, being right now, that this is a good one for us to kind of end on. Of course, there's others. I could say they're all meant for us to end on. I will say we're not going to read number 7. Number 7, you have to get the book. It's funny because I'm doing a professional development for a community college here in Texas next, well, 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks. And one of the person, the contact person asked me, what does REAP stand for? And I was like, you got to get the book. It's in the book and it's in the first few pages. So REAP does stand for something. It is a strategy, and you must read the book. Of course, for the professional development, I will be going through that and talking about that and sharing that with the faculty. But I just want you to say that this is a strategy itself. This is mindset work itself. It is a quote in the book, but it's there. So we're not gonna read that one. But there's plenty in here that we could end on. But I want to end with 13 because I think it's really good for being in a pandemic, this shifting of the administration in our country, the unrest that's going on with that, and the things that are just mind-boggling that's going on with that. I don't even know what to call it. I apologize. Trying to be politically correct today. Um, and so I think this is really good for us to kind of reset and think about it. Surrender. No, this is number 13. Surrender to the moment. When you are shifting or experiencing change, number one, focus on the here and now, right now. And I think we're all experiencing change in our life, whether you're virtual, going back to face, whether you're face to face and going virtual, whether your job has changed, you don't have a job, you're getting a new job. We're all going through something, some shift or experiencing change right now. And so, number one, focus on the here and now. Two, know you are about to go to the next level, because whatever it is, you can't stay where you are. You got to bump it up a notch. I take that from Emerald, the cook, the professional chef. Bump it up a notch. So we got to go to the next level. Number three, stop resisting change. And resistance is a whole nother conversation that I can talk about what resistance really is, but I won't today. Number four is go with the flow. Create space for flow in the moment. So go with the flow. So those are four things that this commentary suggests that you do when you're shifting or experiencing change. Trust the process. Allow the moment to guide you. Surrender all. How are you creating stability at this moment in time? How are you making your space secure? Are you ready and willing to grow? Are you ready for a fresh start? Comment below. Comment below. Comment below if you're joining me on the replay or live. So this quote is seed number 13. Surrender to the moment. I didn't say minute. I didn't say the month. I didn't say the year. It's the moment. So whatever moment you're in at this part in your life. So my thing is off, but the phone still rings. I apologize. So surrender to the moment. So that's a good one to end on. I think. Any thoughts about that? I just took over. Letty, any thoughts on that one?
I love that one. And that was one of my favorite also because to me, going with one of my favorite feelings is ease and flow.
Right.
And it's something I strive for all the time. And so this particular one, surrender to the moment, made me feel in have that feeling like that. That is definitely part of it. And then for it just for I think if you're able to surrender to the moment, things will come to you,
Right.
ideas will come to you, and that's where the change comes.
Yes.
And like you said, change is something in of its itself,
Right.
and which is really hard sometimes to accept and to go for, but that really is such a beautiful place to be when you
Yeah.
can be there.
Yeah. And I heard it in songs. I've heard people say it. There are two constants in the world: change and change. Those are two things you can count on for sure. So that are two constant things the same is change. So surrender to the moment when you're shifting or experiencing change. One, focus on the here and now. Two, know you are about to go to the next level. Three, stop resisting change. And four, go with the flow. Create space for flow in the moment. Trust the process. Allow the moment to guide you. Surrender all. So thank you all for joining us. I'm going to allow Letty to say her final words, and then we will see you next week. Next week we'll be back here Friday. Check my postings for the times. I will be posting the times. On my social media. It will be next Friday, but the time you'll have to check the posting to know the exact time, because it always depends on who my guest is for that week, as to the time that we choose. So stay tuned. Know that next Friday we'll be here, and we will be talking about 1 through 22. So you still have time to get the book. As I showed you, they're not long. They're very small snippets because we know that everyone's busy right now. And so that's another reason why we've chosen to read this book, because it's a daily reader. You can read it each day. Just a little encouragement in the morning before you start the day, before you go to bed. You choose in your day when it fits. Maybe when you're at work and it's that time of day where you get a little frustrated, or things start to overwhelm you, or you just need some encouragement to finish out the day. Maybe it's that part of the day. So you can choose. And that's the good thing. It's just 5 minutes. And even if you take time to write and reflect, it's only a few minutes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes that you have. And so we're encouraging you to read 15 minutes a day with us. Take your 15 minutes and reflect. And so we hope you will join us next week. I'm going to let thee come back and say her final words. And then we're signing off with Reap More for this week. Letty?
Well, thanks. Um, this is such a treasure. It really is, and it's such a cool tool because you can start at any point, anywhere, and the fact that it's set up to, you know, give you an opportunity to put your own thoughts in there, and it's not in any way difficult to do or challenging. It really is a simple way to kind of get started and to think about things without feeling intimidated about it. And so I really encourage everybody to use it. It just
Your
it
check's in the
really is.
mail.
It really is fun. And for someone that has such a hard time starting things, this was an easy start for me. And I really enjoy that it was an easy start for me. And Dr. Tammy, I want to thank you for inviting me. I've
Well,
had a
thank you
great
for
time.
saying yes. Now y'all listen. She is always reading with me. She's always she'll inbox me. Hey girl, are we discussing today? Like what's going on? Like it's Friday. Get with it, sister. And she will get in my inbox and make sure and double check and get me going. And even today, she was like, what time? Okay, I'm ready. And she was so she's always reading with us. So to have her say yes to be on camera, and she's usually in the comments and commenting, whether it's on the replay or live. And so to have her here is a special treat. I feel so special. Thank you, Letty, for taking time out of your evening to share with us and to share with me and supporting me on my journey and supporting me in this project. I have this thing where I want what I release to be perfect. And being in business, I've had to release that. I've had to release it being perfect. And for this book, it was like, just get it done. Just get it done and get it out. And so that's kind of what I did. And it's turned out to be one of the best projects that I've had the opportunity to really, as we talked about earlier, create. And so I appreciate your support on this and in this. And I just love you, girl. So thank you so much
Same
for
here.
being
Thank
here
you.
with us today and sharing with us. You are amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you. She's like, all right, Tammy, stop it. So she's giving me that look. So So, y'all, if you want to read with us, you can. Like Letty said, you can join us. There's still time. We're reading this through March. And then we'll have all of my guests back over these 3 months, give them the opportunity to come back for a final discussion over the entire project and for them to really give me some honest feedback on what they thought of it at the end of it as a project in itself, because there is another volume that's coming out. So there's another one that will be out probably later this year. And so, therefore, I really want feedback because this is just something I thought I'd continue doing and sharing. So, this is just the first of it. So, I'm hoping you'll read with us and you will get the encouragement and inspiration you need. If you would like encouragement on a weekly basis in your text message, you can definitely text me Reap More. And there's my number. There's my text number, 888-413-3681. You can text me and you can get weekly updates this year. It's once a week. I won't blow up your phone or anything unless you tell me to. But I just be once a week and I will send a quote. And some of these will be from the book, and some may not be. It just depends on what I'm feeling when I send those out. Of course, you can always join my weekly my updates, my community updates. You can text me Catalyst. If you text me that word, then you can join my community updates. And that's where I send any special promotions on any of my projects, my things. Starting February 1st, a lot of my rates and things are going up. My workshops and things are going up come February. So if you want to get in one of the purpose planning workshops right now, you can do so. Um, they're at the current price, but then in February they will be changing. So those type of things that I will be texting. I don't text those often too. I just text them whenever I have something, and typically, at most it'll be once a week, but it's usually just a couple of times a month. So if you want to get on that list, so you are, and I usually offer to the text people first a week early before I share it with the public. So just so you know, that's the greatest thing about being in on my list there. So allow me to text you. So I thank you so much for joining us. I thank you for being here. Like I said, we're reading Reap More, 76 Seeds for this season. It is on Amazon and on my website, drtammyfrancis.com, and you can get it there. If you want a first edition copy, you can go to my website. It just allows some time because I know the mail is a little slower now due to, manpower and things going on there. I do send it USPS. And so, therefore, it does. So, just allow some time for me to get it in the mail. I usually mail once a week and then allow some time for it to get to you. If you purchase on Amazon, well, if you have Prime and stuff, you know how that works. But there's an ebook now available where you can even just download. So that's available too. Like, how cool is that? So you have all those options. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you next week as we discuss Reap More, 76 Seeds for this season. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for reading with me. Thank you all for your feedback and your love. I've seen all your messages, all your picture posts when you get them in the mail. I appreciate your support. This has been an amazing journey, and I thank you for making it so. Love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.